Yo, what up, everyone? Mike Hill, the Wholesaling Titan here. And what I want to talk to you about in today's video is a major key to finding and working with the best types of cash buyers when you are wholesaling real estate. I want to show you what to look for, how to separate the real ones from the fake ones, and not doing what I'm about to show you here is ultimately the cause of just a lot of deals that go bad. You know, deals where you can't sell, deals that have to be canceled. You know, you get pissed off sellers, and I just want to show you how to avoid all of that. So this is going to be a pretty quick video, and the inspiration for this comes from a question I saw on Facebook where we had a newer seller, and he's talking about, he's kind of nervous because he had a contract with a buyer who wasn't responding, and apparently the buyer was still doing due diligence, but at the same time the seller is getting kind of anxious, a little bit nervous. And so oftentimes when I see a lot of questions like this, it's not that these problems can't be overcome. They can often, but if you communicate effectively in the very beginning, you set your expectations properly, and most importantly, you put your contracts together properly, it eliminates the vast majority of issues, and then you just never have to deal with this stuff. It's kind of like jumping out of a plane without a parachute and then asking, how do you land safely? It's like, just have the parachute before you jump. So as a quick example, right? When I'm flipping a property to a cash buyer, all due diligence needs to be completed before I give the contract. So that means if I'm doing a double close, the contract has to have a 0-day inspection period. It has a clause that says the contract is not valid until earnest money has been received by my title company. And then remember that it's got to be at least double my earnest money commitment on my deal with the seller. It's called the A to B contract. And it has to say that my contract with the buyer is contingent on closing on that A to B contract. So, stuff like that alone is going to save you like 50% of potential issues you could run into. And then even with an assignment, this is when I'm not actually selling the property, but rather I'm selling my rights to buy the property, essentially selling the contract itself. My assignment agreement is contingent on forfeiting any remaining inspection period on the original contract. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, or you don't have my assignment agreement, or you just want more details on how that works, it's really, really good. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description. You can download the contract. There's a video there that'll walk you through this as well. But let's pivot and go back to dealing with buyers, right? So you get your house under contract, and now it is what? Time to sell. So you're going to start, obviously, advertising this thing, right? So you're going to send it to everybody on your buyers list. You'll send it to other wholesalers offering to JV. Might do some paid ads. You're going to post it on sites like Craigslist and BiggerPockets and My House Deals. And next, you're going to start getting calls asking to see the property. Your job is to sell it as fast as possible to a cash buyer, or buyer using hard money. Ideally in a way that isn't like a huge time suck for you or like a general just pain in the ass, right? And now you have to make sure that the person on the other end of the phone is a legit buyer that's actually going to close. So what's going to happen is that a lot of people, they may not understand that you're wholesaling, first of all. So you're going to talk to like FHA buyers or like a lot of realtors, and obviously that's not ideal for us. But there's also going to be a lot of people claiming to be cash buyers that are really just tire kickers, meaning that they're just never going to pull the trigger. Maybe some people went to a RIA meeting or a seminar, they got inspired, but they don't really know what they're doing, and they're just not going to come through. Or what's even more common now is that you're going to be getting calls from a lot of wholesalers or aspiring wholesalers or people looking to wholesale lease options, calling you and telling you that they are cash buyers. And so what you need to do is screen these people so you know exactly who you're dealing with. And the way I do this is by, first I explain that I'm a wholesaler and what I do. And then I ask some very detailed and somewhat personal, maybe obnoxious, but very probing questions. And so I'm going to explain why I do that in just a second. But, just as an example, I say things like, what are your investing goals? Or what types of properties are you interested in? Or, what is your budget? Are you using cash or hard money? Are you flipping, rehabbing, holding? How many properties do you have? How many deals have you done? Do you buy frame houses? Stuff like that. And a few key points here, right? First off, if you want a list of these questions, I'll post a link in the description. You can just download it from my website. I got them written out for you. But next is once I ask those questions, I say, assuming the numbers work and the property is how I present it to you, are you ready, willing, and able to go? Will you sign a contract with a 0-day inspection period and put up earnest money within 24 hours? And that's often going to weed out the wrong type of people. I mean, wholesalers, for example, are not going to sign a 0-day inspection, a contract with 0 inspection period, and give you $10,000 in 24 hours. And sometimes, especially if there's hesitation, I just ask them straight up, you looking to wholesale? And if so, I'm not mad or anything, man. I just explain, hey, I can't give you a contract because of the 0-day inspection thing. I got other people interested, but hey, bring a buyer and we can JV. You can do a JV, right? Um, so next two things are really important. First, if you're dealing with like a vacant house or REO or the seller has a lockbox on it, it's not as important. But remember, when you're dealing with a house that isn't on lockbox or it's occupied, even if you did, ideally you made the seller aware that you might have a couple people coming in for inspection or, to get a quote or a lender or a partner or whatever. If there's someone living in the house, you can't really show it 10 or 20 times all these different people. And even when you can, or even if you could, it's probably not the best use of your time and or it's going to raise some weird kind of red flags. So you really want to make sure that you screen these people very hard on the phone so you give your limited showing opportunities to those who are most likely the best equipped to close, right? And then the next thing is one of the biggest questions I get primarily from my students is like, Mike, isn't that kind of obnoxious? Like some of these questions, it's just like this discomfort with asking these very personal questions, and people tend to think like, isn't this gonna drive away my buyers? And so what I've found is that legitimate buyers won't be offended by this at all. Not only are they not offended, but typically they're very much appreciative. And that's because you're showing interest in their preferences and making a real effort to give them what they want. If you're being this thorough and this diligent in dealing with them initially, it's very much indicative that you're taking them seriously and you're probably going to do the same when it comes to finding them a deal. That's especially important to consider when there are a lot of people that just come into this business very quickly and they're out very quickly, fly-by-night wholesalers. And the people who would get upset, they're probably not that serious anyway, or maybe they're just not somebody that you really want to work with. So that's not something you really need to worry about. And I'd say also keep in mind, I'm not like reading these questions off a checklist like an automated machine. I just kind of weave the questions in through a natural conversation. So I'm like, you're looking to rent? That's awesome, man. I mean, it really is an up and coming area. Do you have stuff there already? Oh, that's awesome, beautiful. Wait, more than one? Oh yeah? Oh, how many do you own? Stuff like that, right? And then another thing I want to mention is that I replicate this same system on my website. So on my buyer's website, right? I just make it very, very easy as possible to sign up to be on my buyer's list. So there's an introductory page, invites buyers to sign up. I got a floating bar on every page where new buyers can just pop in their email address. I don't even ask for a first name. And that's how you get quantity, right? A lot of buyers. But like I mentioned earlier, there are thousands of buyers on my list that will probably never buy anything from me. And then I have buyers who buy several properties from me in a single month, or some who will buy several properties, every couple of months. And so obviously it's far more efficient to concentrate my efforts on those types of buyers and their preferences. So on my website, how it works, like after you sign up for that initial buyers list where you just put your email in, it takes you to a follow-up page, like a thank you page. It basically says, hey man, or hey woman, hey person, thanks for signing up for my buyers list. You're gonna get notifications where you can see my existing inventory passively. But if you want me to find something specifically for you, meaning I'm essentially doing free marketing on your behalf, go ahead and fill out this form, and then ask the same kind of questions that I just mentioned a little while ago. And then I know that if someone's gonna take the time to fill that out, they're probably pretty serious. And oftentimes, the more specific people are with those answers, the more serious they are. And then I also add, by submitting this page, you're basically we're in agreement that if I'm able to find you exactly what you submitted, meaning I put my time, my effort, my resources, my money into, finding what you asked for, you're agreeing by submitting this that you're ready, willing, and able to purchase. And it's just really helpful, especially when you're getting started. Shows you where to focus your efforts. And again, just a lot easier and more efficient. So I hope that tip really helps. Remember, you can go to my website, link in the description for a sample of those questions that are written out for you. And then lastly, before we go here, I want to encourage you guys to join me on something really, really cool that I've been doing, which is a series of live Q&A training sessions that I've been hosting. And if you're watching this around the time of this original upload, the next session is this coming Friday, July 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That link will be in the description as well. If you're watching after that time, click that link anyway, because I'm going to use it to post future live events. And that schedule. And so the way I've been running these trainings has been all based on your questions and a survey that I've been extending to my social media followers. So the last two sessions, I intended to answer questions for about 2 hours. and just the questions and level of engagement from you guys was so good that we ended up on going for about 5 hours on both of those last two trainings, and the feedback was absolutely phenomenal. So my next training, I'm showing you guys my top 3 sources of motivated sellers. I'm walking you step by step through some deals. I'm gonna show you the full A to Z. I'm showing you 5 steps to find cash buyers. We'll talk about some virtual wholesaling. I'm gonna give you some updates on the coronavirus impact, and then anything and everything you guys want to talk about. I basically set aside my whole Friday night just to come kick it with you guys. I mean, we're gonna go through it all. Obviously, it's very educational, but also try to make it fun. There's a lot of engagement back and forth, and I just have a really great time, and I think everyone else does too. I'm not holding anything back, so I'm not doing any replays. So do what you got to do to be there. I promise you'll get a ton of value. Get a babysitter. Do whatever it takes. And remember, just click that. That link's gonna be in the description. The next one, Friday, July 17th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you there. So again, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you got a little value here, please do share this, like it, comment, subscribe. Remember to hit the bell notification. It really does help the channel out a great deal. Helps out that YouTube algorithm stuff, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much. I will see you on the next video, and I hope to see you on the live training or our next live training session. So thanks again for watching. I will talk to you soon. Enjoy your wholesaling, and yeah, see you then. Peace.